Fucking classic. Well, it feels good to be back.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been listening to my 80s playlist at Quick Trip, and every time You're the Voice comes on, I just get really fucking ready.
Ramped up.
All right. Ready for the shit?
Betcha.
Welcome, everybody. Was that a little loud?
That's perfect.
I kind of got excited because we're back.
It's the first welcome everybody of the year. It's got to be loud.
Oh, I've spent many months preparing for that. Yeah, guys, we're back. We're here. It's another year. 2018 is coming at you. We got the friggin' rookie draft in less than 2 weeks.
Jesus.
And we thought we should probably do a little mock draft with the Pod Squad. So that's your first podcast of this year is our pre-draft special. And it's going to be an exciting one because this might be the most highly contested who's going to go where draft that we've maybe ever had.
Is it?
I don't know. There's a lot of talented guys, and I feel like it immediately starts at 2 that you could just start arguing.
Around 2 or 3, it starts to get who's going to go where.
I feel like last year was pretty interesting with who was going to go where because we didn't even know who was going to be the first pick last year.
Okay, you're right.
True.
Just trying to hype up the fans.
Oh,
personally, I think it's the least exciting draft.
Well, either way, it's gonna be a fun ride. I'm very excited for it, even though I don't really have any picks, but I'm excited to see how the picks fall. Let's put it that way. All right. Well, I think what we're gonna do is just set it up like a real draft. One of us will take the first pick, and we'll just go so on, so forth. And then we'll just talk about the picks as we go.
Yeah. We'll think out loud because we haven't prepared at all.
Yeah, it's going to be real organic here.
Yep. First
show of the year. Got to work out the kinks.
Mm-hmm.
So who wants the highly debated number 1 overall pick task?
Caleb?
I could. If you want.
All right, Caleb, go for it. You are Calvin right now after a massive trade to land him the number 1 overall selection.
Yeah, crazy trade, sort of out of nowhere. Didn't think Josh was going to move that pick at all, and then here we are. I mean, he almost landed the pick based on points or the record at the end of the season, but now it ended up that way.
Yeah, I literally sat back, the way that, because Josh had a bunch of trade offers, I feel what was it, January probably when the season was wrapping up and college football was wrapping up in December, and I feel like everyone made him a bunch of trade offers, and all of a sudden just quieted down. And it got into that point where it seemed like he wasn't going to trade him, or I think he had mentioned a few times that he was waiting till draft day to do it.
Yeah.
So he did say that.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt I didn't think he would move it at all. So I didn't even bother preparing offers. I'm he's just gonna take his cornerstone, and then that came out. I guess it depends. I mean, he gets whoever he wants at 2, and
he got a good haul.
I've been saying that this is one of the most fair, biggest trades that we've had. I felt like both sides got exactly what they needed at this current stage.
Yeah.
So
I'm still a little bit iffy on it because I just wanted Josh to get a cornerstone for once in his life, and he's still traded down to 2. I just wanted, because he always gets these guys that are all right, that was good. He's gonna get that guy, and I just wanted him for once to get the sure thing.
But
okay,
think about sorry to say this about Josh's team, but I think he knows this. Think about how devoid of talent that roster is. Is one player gonna fix it? Now he's going to have 5 first-rounders in the next 2 years coming in. So
he's the favorite to land the number 1 pick in a pretty hyped-up wide receiver class next year with 3 total first-round picks.
True. Could have an entire core of wide receivers all from next year. We saw who did that? Calvin? Was it Calvin in 2014
Carter
or something? Carter. Carter. That's what it was. The 1, 2, 3, and 4. But
yeah. picked.
But anyways,
Jackson, Shepard, Thomas.
yeah. So one here, Kelvin's gonna take Saquon Barkley. So he's got the guy he's gonna add to that team, which is running backs aren't great as he still has Jonathan Stewart in the starting lineup. So who's actually on the Giants now. So
the more you know.
Yeah,
exactly. The giant need there.
Yeah. So that's
putting Saquon in this lineup, I feel like catapults him back up into maybe fringe playoff contender status.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then he has a pick at 6 as well. So if he can grab another starter there, all of a sudden things are looking up.
Think about what it is for Kelvin, who had a really bad season without really posting the numbers to back that up, and now he gets Saquon out of it. Like it was just an unlucky ride, and he happened to be in a position that allowed him to trade up to 1, and now he gets a cornerstone freak running back. Like, I mean, this team was in the title game 2 years ago. Like, this could easily be a really good team next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes it's what you need. Like a little unluckiness isn't like what you want, but if you aren't going to be a playoff team anyways, you might as well end up down there getting the first or second pick to change the franchise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Saquon on the Giants should be. I mean, he's going to be unbelievable. I'm pretty sure
it's set up to basically be a RB for sure. RB1 right out of the gate, maybe top 5 running back
for sure. Yeah, so you can't really go wrong with Saquon.
So number 2, you taking it, Brock, or you want me to do it?
Okay. I'll let you, the host, go last here.
All right.
So we got Josh just made a trade, brought in an extra 2019 pick, another second round or 2. So we moved back 1 spot. We're liking that. Looking at the board here, if I'm Josh, that team it's pretty barren, like you said. So I'm looking to get the best available here. None of the wide receivers are like that top tier level, so I'm looking at running backs for them. And I think I'm going to go Darius Geis. There's people who were drafted ahead of him, a little bit of character concerns, but I like where he ended up. He's going to get carries right away. My second ranked running back by a pretty good margin. Taking Darius Geis to the Reens Rebel Alliance at number 2.
And I mean, for Josh, like, he's going to love that. He gets a haul. He moves back 1 spot and still gets a guy that I know he personally is very high on.
Yeah, I got a tweet I pulled up that from Josh in January said, "It's hard to believe that Geis isn't the universal RB2 in this class." So,
I like the research here.
Yeah.
Nice. That's real nice, Caleb.
Then Mingo chimed in with RB4. So, okay.
Just gotta insert his 2 cents.
So, but yeah, Geis I feel like it's pretty much a given there. I think for him, and it would really fit what he needs. So yeah,
I think that was a big reason for the trade back as well. Like he was very comfortable with Geis at 2 there.
Yeah.
So
that makes it. Yeah, if you definitely that works out for him.
Yeah,
there's a good chunk of drafter that Geis says they're RB1. I think they're all dumb, but still a good chunk.
Yeah. There is still the thing like that. Chris Thompson, like Gruden said that he's still going to be the pass catching guy. So I guess we'll see how that plays out. I don't know. I feel like Geis's talent is just going to surpass Thompson getting those snaps, but I mean, we'll see if they stick to that or not, because that would impact him.
Coaches say stuff all the time, and through 4 years or 5 years, I've pretty much learned to just wait till what I see on the field, because they're always talking about something that isn't real.
Yeah,
that's how I've fallen into traps before. So
I think I'm done caring about if there's 2 running backs also. Obviously Kamara and Ingram was an outlier, but still, like, what is there, like maybe 4 or 5 that actually like are the only backs on their team in the league?
Yeah. So I guess that's another way to look at it too. You don't have to worry about it as much as you'd think.
All right, number 3. Who am I, Dave?
Like, can Paul Perkins eat into Saquon's circle?
All right.
Whatever.
All right, you are Caleb at number 3.
Oh, Caleb, huh?
Carter's original pick. Caleb acquired it from Tim. I don't remember exactly what trade.
Alshon.
Alshon, yep.
All right.
We got the Alshon pick here.
Well, I think as Caleb, I'm extremely happy to be sitting in this position, knowing what the first 2 picks are going to be and knowing that I'm going to get my guy at 3. So without hesitation, I'm running up to the podium, which we will have for real. For real. And I am selecting Sony Michel, the running back from New England. I think Michel has supreme talent, and I think that the boost of confidence that was the Patriots drafting him in the first round only goes to show that he's going to be a real-time player. And as long as he can hold on to the football, I don't think he's going to get Belichicked. I think they're going to actually ride with him. He made Dion Lewis expendable. Dion Lewis was a big part of the offense. So, I don't know. I think he's going to have a huge season, and I think that this is an impact player for 2018 that we're picking up at 3.
I like the pick. We add to Caleb's stable of young running backs here that I'm just maybe not a stable, but
a couple of guys.
Small corral.
Small. If I get Sony, is it a stable? Do I need
it could be a stable, especially if Jamal Williams really asserts himself over Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jamal in the flex here. Looking at your thing, we got Joe Mixon, who should take a step forward. We got McKinnon, who is looking at lead back duties. Is this another Caleb looks really, really good going into the season and completely shits the bed?
Come on, man. I made the playoffs last year.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Forgot.
You wouldn't think I did, but yeah, I mean, Sony, I could definitely, I'm not going to give away what my thoughts and intentions are, but Sony is definitely very intriguing there at 3. I mean, Dion Lewis just went crazy at the end of the season for the Patriots, and I can imagine Sony doing just that in his role. Maybe even getting more touches. I don't know what. This like a Burkhead, Gillisley, and I don't know who else. It's just a bunch of guys that are going to try and eat away and James White. They're just going to try and eat away as his snaps. So I guess it depends what Belichick thinks. You invest first round draft capital into a running back, you assume he's going to get a ton of touches, but I don't know. Belichick's weird, and yeah, like Corf said, if he fumbles the ball, I could be out of a starter for weeks.
Yeah, there could be weeks where he gets 20 carries and runs a bunch of routes, and there could be weeks where he's on the bench and no rhyme or reason to it.
Yeah, so that's sort of the risk with taking him at 3 is all the running backs really after those, even Geis is a little bit, but like there's the risks that come with them. But Sony seems like the guy that's probably a safer bet the most.
All right, and we got Caleb making pick 4. This pick is for Dave. It's his original pick. He is one of two managers who has managed to keep his original pick this year. The other one being a little quiz here. You guys know?
You.
Correct. Got it. All right, Caleb, who are we taking?
Well, let me take a look at Dave's team here quick. I know he got Christian. God, where is it here? Dirty Dave and the boys.
I Barkley, Geis, and Michel off the board.
Yeah, so there's still a lot of big names for running backs out there. I don't think he's going to go receiver quite yet, and he doesn't really have a running back to pair with McCaffrey at the moment, unless Deonta Foreman takes a big step forward this year, which he could. But I think he's definitely going to go running back, and comes down to a couple guys for me. But I think he's going to go with Ronald Jones at 4. This is a guy that's probably going to step into the Buccaneers and take the starting role. No offense to Josh with Peyton Barber, but Rojo, he was a versatile back, and he showed a little bit more toughness in his last season at USC. And I don't know, he in Tampa Bay, I think he's going to have a chance to really thrive there, just getting opportunities. Whether or not he'll get as many carries, because he's got a little bit smaller frame, we'll see. But I think he's going to have a chance to make an impact day one, and I think that would be huge for Dave's team.
I agree.
Yeah, Dave's in another team that's in the position where he's just looking to add the best talent available, and it's another running back. We got 4 running backs.
Yeah.
Off the board.
Yeah. Also, another team that has a pretty good chunk of draft picks in the next 2 years. So, I mean, he hits on some of these guys. Like, this is a big pick, pairing running back with McCaffrey. And, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you can keep hitting on those picks,
Speaking of Dave having a lot of draft capital, we got Dave picking again here. His pick from Timothy, probably for Mark Ingram. What? I don't remember exactly.
Most likely.
So we got me picking this one, huh? All right, let's take a look at this big board. So we got a couple of names sticking out. We got Rashad Penny, the first round running back, looking like he's going to be the starter in Seattle. We could go wide receiver, considering Dave just took a running back, and his wide receivers right now are Adam Thielen and not much else, unless he's got people hiding on the bench here. I don't think he does. No. So yeah, maybe think about going wide receiver here, and I'm looking at DJ Moore. Not my top ranked wide receiver, but fell into a great situation in Carolina. It's going to be the top guy. So even with Greg Olsen getting older too, there could be targets opening up even more. So yeah, I'm going to go with DJ Moore. Maybe not my top on the big board right here, but I'm drafting a little bit for need here for Dave, which contradicts what I just said before.
Well, okay, to be
get a wide
fair,
receiver off the board here.
To be fair, this cluster right now is pretty much a wash, in terms of like who's actually the best available.
That's true. It depends on personal boards.
So, I mean, I definitely agree that he's probably going to go running back receiver, because I think he's going to get a really good running back at 4. Probably it could be Ronald Jones. I would agree with that pick. And here it's going to come down to Ridley or Moore. And at that point, it's kind of who's your guy.
Who do we think Dave's going to pick?
Yeah. So either way, he's going to get a really good player, a really good piece to the wide receiving group to pair with his young running back duo and keep moving forward.
Even in Dave's situation, not a team probably not looking. I mean, Dave's looking to contend, I know, in his mind, but
that
you're not expecting to contend for at least a year. He maybe could take Ridley. Like, Ridley probably not going to get as much targets out of the gate as DJ Moore would, but not exactly an end-all be-all for Dave's team.
Yeah.
I mean, this is. I wouldn't be surprised if he went DJ Moore. But even so, I think he could still maybe go running back with a guy like Rashad Penny if you really wanted. But like you said, it's so close here. It really comes down to if you want to draft for need, you can.
Yeah, we've seen the running back load up on rookies work last year with Course. Brought him to the championship.
Follow that philosophy, and you grab Ronald Jones, and then you have Christian McCaffrey, and now you have Rashad Penny. All of a sudden, you got the 3-headed monster for that, and maybe grab some receivers at some other point. But yeah, you go a couple directions with this. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
It's nice spot to have back-to-backs, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
It's perfect. Yeah. All right, so picking 6, we have Calvin, who acquired this pick from me for LaShawn McCoy around the trade deadline. Originally Parker's pick, which was moved to me in the Antonio Brown trade. So making this pick, we have Mingo Fresh.
All right, so I just picked up Saquon. I'm still crying. I'm attending the draft for the first time ever. I'm hugging people, crying, and then I have to go back up and announce another pick. And at this point in the draft, I am going to select
suspense.
He's
a running back. I'm going to pair 2 running backs, and I'm going to select from the Cleveland Browns, Nick Chubb.
Wow.
I think he's gonna He's walking out of this first round with 2 running backs. One of them is a surefire, no doubt dude. Like he's going to be a rock.
Yep.
Here we're kind of going a little bit off the radar. I wouldn't call it a reach. He's definitely in this tier.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of what kind of production are you going to get this season, maybe not a whole lot. But I think Chubb really kind of surprised a lot of people with the draft process. I think he kind of showed that he was a player. He was a gamer. And I think eventually he's going to be the guy for Cleveland, along with their new boy at quarterback.
Yeah, if I remember right, Chubb kind of maybe not silenced completely, but erased a little bit of doubt over his knee injury at the combine. Caleb, do you remember? I think he had a decent combine, actually.
No, he did, yeah. Pull up the mock draftable, but yeah, he definitely showed out. And I mean, as the season went on, I fell more towards him being one of the top guys again. So
yeah, I thought he was probably one of the better between the tackle runners
for sure.
This class.
Yeah,
maybe right up there, top 3. So it's basically in competition with Carlos Hyde.
Yeah, which it was weird. They sign Hyde to that deal, and then they go ahead and draft Chubb in the second, which was interesting. But I guess,
well, and that's the thing is like it's one of those things where you're kind of counting on Hyde to like show more than what he's actually done. Like he's been a good player in San Francisco. He hasn't been a great player.
No.
And I think like him being on the Browns, like this isn't like their guy, like this isn't like their future guy. So I think maybe you see kind of a little platoon forming, and maybe Chubb starts to take some carries. And then, I mean, this is more so like we're gonna pick this one for a little bit further down the road.
Yeah, so Hyde's more of a transition guy as they get to more where they're going to be competing moving forward, not throwing Chubb right into the fire.
And Hyde's also a guy who struggled with injuries.
Yeah, so you really,
I
mean, but yeah, I could definitely see this pick happening, and you coming with Chubb and Barkley in this draft, you're feeling pretty good if you're Calvin.
All right. So pick 7, we have Carter. You got this pick from Caleb. I don't know when. Do you know?
Probably like 3 years ago.
It would have been when I got Mixon. Because I don't know. It's probably like an Amari or A-Rob trade. I'm really not sure.
There's been at least 3 of those.
And I think this is Caleb making this pick for Carter from his original position.
Huh, interesting. Okay, so Carter. Looking at his team back, having Coleman and Jay Ajayi, and I'm not really feeling great about either of them that much. They're solid, but they're not like going to be the RB1 guys. So I'm looking at the bench. I don't see much else. So I'm going to go running back here, and I'm going to take Rashad Penny. This is a guy that it was very shocking when he went first round to the Seahawks. I think he has talent, but there were just so many other needs for Seattle that it was one where I was like, wow, that was like one of the big first wow picks. Well, there's a lot, but Rashad Penny, he's gonna have a chance to go in there and be the RB1. I mean, you take a guy in the first, like I said with Sony, you're gonna try and manufacture touches for him. So this is gonna be the guy in Seattle most likely, and you get a guy that's gonna be getting a good amount of touches a game. So I guess we'll see what they do with that offensive line, which still isn't great, which could hamper things for him a bit, but obviously they have a lot of faith in him carrying the load for the Seahawks, and that'll transfer right over to Carter's team.
And I think if it falls like it did here, I don't see how you can't take a running back taking the first round is lined up for RB1 carries.
Yeah,
so it's pretty easy pick for Carter here.
Yeah, I don't really see if him going wide receiver, maybe Calvin Ridley, but still Penny would. I think you have a chance, and a starting running back who's drafted in the first round. You got to go with that.
All right. Moving to. I can hear myself.
Yeah, hang on. You're echoing. And I'm echoing. And everybody's echoing.
Dreaded echo.
Okay, that sounded fine.
Fixed. I think it's fixed.
We're fine. Okay. Fine.
Fine.
Okay.
Everything's
We'll
fine.
just cut that part out.
Oh, just to clarify, that was the Amari trade.
Okay,
Okay.
it was. Yeah.
All right. So next up, we have Caleb. He's at 1.08 here. He acquired this pick on May 5th of 2018 in a trade with Dan. He moved
Wild one.
he moved his 2 mid-seconds to acquire 1.8 here.
You have this pick, Fraser?
Yep, this is me.
Oh, yeah.
Pulling up your team here. What do we see? We already had a pick. We picked Sony Michel third. So we got a little bit of the Bill Belichick worries. Who do we got on the board? I think I'm gonna jump positions here and take the second wide receiver of the mock draft. We're gonna go Calvin Ridley on the Falcons. The heir apparent to Julio Jones. Who knows what his production here this year is going to be? It could be good. He's already 24, so he's pretty. That's right, 24.
Yeah.
He's a pretty polished guy. So you're hoping he has a decent year this year, but like I said again, he's got Julio in front of him yet. But Matt Ryan does like to move the ball around. So I think a big verdict in how his year is going to go is does he move ahead of Sanu or not? And Sanu is just always around. I hate Sanu as a Julio.
Yeah. Always taking away targets from Julio.
So I think this will fit nicely into your wide receiver core in the future, as last year is pretty inconsistent across the board except for Michael Thomas. So I think Calvin Ridley might be a nice consistent guy, someone who gets open a lot, someone to put up solid points across the board in the future for you. So that's who I'm going with.
I think Ridley at this point, what are we at, 8?
Yep.
I think this is a friggin' steal. Like you're grabbing personally, my number one receiver in the draft. Many other people would agree.
Yeah.
You're grabbing that player at 8 to pair with Sony Michel on a team that, say what you will, made the playoffs last year. Like, I'm looking at the core and I'm looking at these two guys and, Michael Thomas and some hopefully players kind of awakening, mixing and stuff. And it's a young, hungry team. So, yeah, I'm walking away happy if I'm Caleb here.
Yeah, I mean, Ridley, interesting, going to the Falcons, kind of like the fit there. He's obviously not going to be the guy, but he will make a really nice wide receiver too there, I think. And, I mean, there's not a lot of competition for what I'm seeing. I mean, it's Jones, Sanu, and then Deontay Burton. So I'm going to assume he's at least going to be on the field for a lot of the snaps. And, I mean, I think he's a really good fit with the Falcons. He's just going to be a nice little pairing, or a little second fiddle to Julio, going to get open a lot. I mean, he's already a really good route runner. So I think, yeah, he's going to thrive in Atlanta most likely. I mean, he's already a little old, but I mean, if you can get production out of him right away, I mean, I'm okay with it. That's not a huge deal. So I'd be okay with Ridley right here at 8.
I think he could easily put up stats like Sanu put up last year. Sanu was the 32nd ranked wide receiver. I think that'd be.
I mean, as a rookie, I'd be okay with that. Yeah. So yeah, I think I could definitely see that happening.
All right. Is it Korf next?
Yep.
Wait, no. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm picking for somebody.
Yeah. Picking for Josh at 9. Your original pick here. Traded to Josh for Marvin Jones, I believe.
Corey Davis.
Corey Davis.
Next year is Marvin Jones.
Yep.
So yeah, Josh has all of my firsts for the end of time. Okay, so we got Darius Geis, and now I'm looking at a group of names here that I'm pretty happy to be selecting from. And I don't remember what Josh's opinion on this player was, but if it was bad, I don't care because this is what I would do in this position, and I think this would be a great pick. I'm picking from the Lions running back Kerryon Johnson. I think this is one of the most the opinion on this player was very divided among Scout Elite.
That's an understatement.
But you know, the NFL liked him in the second round, and I think he's going to be a great player. I think he's going to be. Me and Caleb were talking about this today. I think he's going to be the guy that finally takes hold of the Lions' backfield, which has been such a mess for so long. You know, nobody's really been the guy there. I think has a lot of potential to be that player, and I think he's gonna put up productive numbers sooner rather than later. So for a guy like this at 9, pairing with Geis, like I think it's a great fit. But I mean, I don't know what Josh's opinion on him was. He might have been one of the ones that hated him actually. So
yeah, I think he was.
He might have been.
Yeah.
So I couldn't help but when you said the Lions backfield is such a mess, I couldn't help but notice how close that sounded to Javid Best.
As I was saying it, that was the name that was in my mind.
Oh God.
God, remember Javid Best? Friggin' what was the guy that I don't even remember. There's been a lot of them.
But yeah, maybe he's the one that takes it over finally. I mean,
I can't even remember the name of the guy who's been like their thumper like the last 3 years.
Yeah, that's the one I'm trying to think of. Who is that?
I can't think of it.
Riddick's there.
Joik Bell.
Joik Bell, yeah.
Joik Bell.
Jesus. All right. So we have 10, like I said, and the second owner who managed to keep his first throughout the whole year. So that is me. Picking, we have Caleb.
Oh boy. I really don't know what you're gonna do here. You have been very.
I've already told you exactly what I'm doing. So.
Okay, yeah, he is. Okay, yeah, but it's not real. I don't think he's taking Kalen Ballage at 10. But I mean, really, I don't know what he's looking for here. I haven't seen his team since the Derrick Henry trade, which I didn't find out about till today. And maybe those of you who are listening to the podcast probably didn't know about till I just said it right now. So Derrick Henry is on Parker's team now, in case you were wondering.
People need to follow their reporters to know this news.
But not the con reporters. I mean, people probably saw that and were like, "Who's this guy?"
Who's this guy? I'm actually trying to get verified, so look for the blue check mark, guys.
Right.
When you see news.
Looking at your team, it's weird now that Josh Doxson's in the starting lineup. Like maybe this is his breakout year. We'll see.
Oh, it definitely is.
I feel like I think you have to go running back here, and I think there's still one guy we can take that has the ability to be the starter right out of the gate, and that is Royce Freeman out of Oregon for the Broncos. Oh, I don't know what was that face he made after I did that. I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, all right, but Royce Freeman, he was he wasn't in that top tier of backs I had for a lot of it, but him landing on the Broncos, I mean, he's a solid player, so it's a pretty good fit there, unless you still believe in Devontae Booker. So Freeman has a chance to seize that starting role in Denver, which would be, I mean, huge for him and any of his fantasy owners. So I think this is like one of the last running backs here that has a chance to sort of have like a Kareem Hunt type of year out of him. So bracketing here at 10, I think that bode well for him.
I just don't really know what I think about Royce Freeman.
I didn't like him coming out. Caleb did make good points. He landed in a real nice situation for him when he's probably the favorite to come out. If it falls, I'm not going to give away too much, but if it falls, which is looking like it probably will fall this way, at least in this combination of players in some way, man, you might be looking at a trade back. I don't know.
Ooh, all right.
If anyone wants to jump up.
Inside sources.
There's maybe a couple wide receivers that I like here, but I don't know if I want to take them that early. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
Okay. Maybe don't pencil that one in yet, folks. Royce Freeman Brock is not as favorable as it may seem. All
right.
Wrapping up the first round. On to the second.
Yep, that's the first round. With the first pick in the second round, pick 11, we have Dave. Another pick acquired from Tim. Who knows? Probably some average running back at some point.
It's a good chance it was Mark Freeman. Mark Freeman. From a different time.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, so here we are. We're Dave. We had 2 picks in the first round. We've picked up a running back and wide receiver. I'm gonna pull up Dave's team here quick. I think we're gonna go best available. I thought about tight end for a second, but he did pick OJ Howard last year, who didn't have great stats here, but by all other measures, I've heard nothing but good things. So I think Dave's set there in the future. So I'm going to go to my board here and just going to pick the top available guy here. And I think I'm actually going to go. Who's my top guy? Where's my board? I think I'm going to go Cortland Sutton here. A guy that throughout the draft process was on top of the board for a long time. Kind of fell out of favor towards the end, but a big guy who moves. I think that's another nice prospect for Dave to add, especially in the second here, to his wide receiver core.
Yeah, I think this is probably the pick I'd make there too. I soured on Sutton a little bit after a few things, but still a pretty impressive player. Going to the Broncos, which is a little weird right now. God damn it, Corf. Sorry, Corf just sneezed and dabbed. It was crazy. But Cortland Sutton on the Broncos, you don't really know what you're gonna get out of Case Keenum, the new starter there. I could definitely see Sutton being the heir apparent to Demaryius Thomas and being that guy on the Broncos, but only time will tell. And it seems like it takes a while for these receivers lately to get acclimated with their teams and start putting up numbers. So I don't know if this is a player that's going to put up anything this year as much, but going for the future, this is definitely a good pick for Dave.
Mm-hmm.
So say what you will about Case Keenum, but he was good enough to start in a championship web.com game. So
fair enough.
He will always have that. Also, this pick was acquired in the Eric Decker, Jamison Crowder, Duke Johnson cluster trade.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
So this is an interesting grab here for Dave because, I think it's pretty rare that you get a player that was a lot of draft people's wide receiver one here in the second round when he even got picked in the second round of the NFL draft, which is still pretty high.
To pair with DJ Moore. It's I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Dave's got a nice little haul here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
All right. So next pick, we have Corf making a pick, not your pick. You're making this pick in the mock draft for Josh.
All right.
Number 12 acquired from Calvin in the Saquon Barkley trade, I believe.
I like Josh's team. I'm a fan of the Rebel Alliance. We're following closely to this draft, and we're liking what we see so far. And right now, we're sitting with 2 running backs, and we're going to add a receiver. We are going to pick from the Arizona Cardinals, Christian Kirk, a player that I personally loved and who is now paired with the best quarterback from the draft, Josh Rosen.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is going to be a connection for many of years. So, Josh, although this isn't your prototypical cornerstone wide receiver, this is still a second-round pick, and he's getting a really talented player who's going to put up numbers, wide receiver 3, maybe wide receiver 2 ceiling type numbers. So I like this pick for Josh after the 2 running backs in the first.
Yeah, I think this would be a good pick for Josh as well. Grab that receiver. Because there's a lot of needs on the team. So Kirk is the guy I liked as well. One of the things for him in Arizona, it's going to be fun, Rosen to Kirk, but he played primarily in the slot throughout college, and they're trying to transition him to make him not the wide receiver 2 in that offense. And we saw with a guy like Nelson Aguilar where that did not work out at all at that time. So I'm interested to see how he adjusts to that role on the Cardinals. I believe in his talent, but I'm still a little skeptical on what he does as that in an offense. But the talent is there, and I think he'll put it together at some point. He was one of my favorites, so we'll see how it works out for him. I like him.
This will be an interesting pick for Josh. Like other than trading back to 2, this will be his first kind of pick and player coming from the Saquon Barkley Hall. So maybe a little bit of added pressure to kind of hit on this one with trading Barkley. So that'll be interesting to see the way it falls and where Josh goes with this one.
Yeah.
So picking 13, we have Josh.
Oh, hey.
Hey, look at that.
Josh picking 13. We'll have Caleb make this pick. Pick acquired from Carter. Also don't remember what that was.
I'm on it.
Okay. Well, Josh is sort of hitting all the different areas here on offense, and obviously there's a lot of things he needs to do. So I think we're going to go here, and we're going to grab a tight end, and I think the best one on the board would be Mike Gesicki, or Gesicki, whatever how you pronounce it, from the Miami Dolphins. So this guy, there's not really much competition in Miami, I don't believe. So he has a chance to go in there and thrive. Obviously, tight ends usually take a little time to start producing unless you're Evan Ingram. But he's one of those guys that really could. Yeah, I just had to name. Yeah, my guy there. But yeah, Gesicki, he has a chance to really put something together there in Miami. There's a lot of comparisons for him to Jimmy Graham. So I mean, if you could get that kind of production out of Gesicki, there at pick, what is it, 13? I think that really help round out this draft, early part of the draft for him, hitting all the major positions.
This pick was acquired in the Chris Thompson trade.
Huh.
But yes, I love the pick. Gesicki got 2 running backs, a wide receiver, and a tight end, all super talented. You're putting together a core, and that's pretty much what he needs to do. He needs to hit all of the areas, and he's not really reaching in any of these spots either. He's grabbing really talented players. So,
yeah. All right. Move on to the next one. This is me making this pick for Dave. It's my 3rd pick I've made for Dave already out of his 4. He's got Ronald Jones. We took DJ Moore 5th. We just a couple picks ago took Cortland Sutton, another wide receiver. So right now I'm gonna take best player available for Dave here. On me personally, I'm gonna go James Washington, wide receiver out of Washington State, drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Presumably to take Martavis Bryant's role. If we've learned anything from the Steelers, it's that if they take a wide receiver, he's probably going to be good. So we'll see. Antonio Brown is 30, so he's not going to be around forever. So James Washington will be a little bit of a wait-and-see guy, but he definitely brings a lot of things to the table, like great deep ball receiver already. Even at 6 foot, manages to win the majority of his 50-50 balls. So yeah, in general, I just think this is another nice chance for Dave to take home wide receiver talent that was on the top of a lot of people's boards. Maybe just me.
This was a player I was kind of back and forth on whether I liked him or not. I just sort of settled in the middle, but this landing scenario for him was pretty great with Martavis getting out there. He, like you said, he's going to take that role and probably run with it. I mean, yeah, their wide receiver history is pretty good. I think he's going to be really good in that role as the deep ball guy or whatever. So yeah, James Washington on the Steelers to Dave. I mean, I'd like that pick right there. That's good.
Yeah, I've completely redone Dave's wide receiver core here tonight.
Nice job. Our plan work.
Thank you. All right, moving on to pick 15, 5th pick in the 2nd round. We have Parker, who acquired this pick from Tim. I think I have this one. Let's just check it quick. I believe this is for Robert Woods. Yep. All right, so we're up to Korf making this pick for Parker.
All right. Well, this is obviously a really good team. didn't make the playoffs last year, but I think really a lot of high-end talent already. So I think at this point, we're probably just going to add the best player available. And for me, that is currently Anthony Miller of the Chicago Bears. I think Miller is a guy that I've heard a lot of great things about him post-draft. He's getting a lot of hype. And the Bears landing spot is kind of a wild card because nobody's really sure what Trubisky is going to do this year, and with Allen Robinson and all of those things. But I believe in Miller's talent, and I think that, Parker doesn't need him to really necessarily be a producer this season. And in the middle of the second, you're kind of just hoping you get a guy that's going to show you something and you move forward with a talented guy. So,
yeah. And I think in Parker's situation, like he's got his studs, he's got his Mike Evans, his Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins players, but his bench it's thin. It's thin.
Yeah, very thin.
So Anthony Miller is the kind of guy who could be just a nice solid bench piece for him in the future. Maybe even a nice bye week filler in. Not a guy that's going to be a star, but could put up good stats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So moving to pick 16, we got Caleb making this pick. This is Dan's pick, acquired from Caleb in the trade we already talked about, for 1.08, in which Caleb picked Calvin Ridley in our mock draft. So Caleb, you want to make Dan's pick here for him?
Yeah, sure. So Dan's team, again, you've got a pretty good running back core of Le'Veon, Kamara, Jordan Howard. So really how this is playing out, I think he's going to take one of these receivers that are still available here that would be still in a upper tier, a different tier from others. I think he would go Michael Gallup from the Cowboys. So this is a guy I kind of liked. I liked quite a bit out of Colorado State. And he went to the Cowboys, which is, they don't have a lot at wide receiver right now. So he has a chance to come in and make an impact right away in the Cowboys offense. So this is a guy where you have the upside this season and going forward. So I think the opportunity and the talent, it would make a good pick for Dan there. Well, the wide receivers are slipping a little bit, but I think this would be a welcome addition to the team.
Yeah, interesting player where I'm kind of looking forward to where he goes in our draft, because he's kind of the guy where the general consensus was he wasn't quite on the same talent tier as some of these other wide receivers, but he got into a nice situation, a team with a good running game. He has a chance to kind of maybe put himself into the top target too, with Jason Witten retiring.
Yep.
So yeah, interesting little case study here in the web.com draft. All right, so moving to 17, we have Dan again. Same trade, his other pick he acquired from Caleb. This will be me making this pick. So speaking of Dan, is this his team's name? Is that what it's going to be? Because I love it.
What is it? I didn't see it.
It's Tim's biggest rival.
Oh, that, yeah. That's a good one. You're a good one.
Okay, so I always have a hard time doing like mock drafts for Dan because I just never know what he's gonna do. Who do you just pick? Gallup. God, who did he like? He's got plenty of quarterbacks.
Yeah, we don't have to worry. Well, you never know, but yeah.
I think we kind of got in a little bit of a teardrop just now.
Yeah.
Based on what I'm seeing. You know what? I'm going to go another guy that I just really like. I'm going to pick another wide receiver. We're going to go Dante Pettis here. I think I liked him more than most people did, but I think he's a great route runner.
Well, he didn't like him as much as Dan did. He was his number one receiver.
He was.
Yeah.
Well, then this is a good pick here for me for Dan. I just wrote Dante Gallup. All right, Dante Pettis. I don't know. I'm not sure what's on in front of him offhand with the 49ers, but I think there's not much, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Dante Pettis, great return man. Maybe one of those guys in like a career maybe similar to how Randall Cobb unfolded, where he makes noise as a return man initially and then maybe breaks his way onto the field in a few years. But I think that's a nice little second round pick for Dan, especially if he was his top wide receiver.
Yeah, I like him quite a bit too. Very versatile guy. He'll impact on special teams, and maybe not right away, but at some point he'll make an impact on the offense. And with Shanahan running that, they'll find ways to incorporate him. So yeah, I like this pick here. Obviously, he likes him, and on the 49ers. So yeah, Dante Pettis there is. I think Dan would be happy with that.
You're welcome, Dan. God, I'm lighting it up tonight. I wish I could make this many draft picks on my own team. All right, moving on. 18. We have Calvin acquired this pick from Dan. We'll have Corf make this pick.
All right. This is going to be one of my easiest picks of the night because I'm putting myself in Kelvin's shoes right now. We're nearing the end of the second. This is about the time that Kelvin would normally just start to pick names that he knows. And there happens to be one very talented name on the board who also plays for the Philadelphia Eagles and is also in a position of need. We're picking Dallas Goedert.
Ooh.
I mean, he was easily one of the top tight ends in this draft. A lot of people said he was one of the best tight ends in the last few years. I don't actually know where he got picked. It was like a little bit later, wasn't it? Like third round or something?
Second or third.
I don't know.
But we're at whatever happened. He's behind Zach Ertz, which isn't necessarily a great landing spot for instant production, but he's supremely talented. He'll find a way to get on the field in some way or another. And for Eagles fan himself or whatever he is now, I know he was like riding Packers and whatever he chooses, but it's like Tim with the Panthers. Hate you, Tim. But yeah, no, I think classic Calvin pick.
Yeah, I would put money on it actually now that you did that. Personally, I think he's the best person named Dallas in the draft.
Yeah, probably.
Come on, Kill Black. All right. 19 here. We got Parker picking at 19. Acquired this pick from Corf. Caleb, who are we picking for Parker?
All right, so this is weird because this is definitely a little bit of a teardrop. I think, you had the David Johnson pick a few years ago where he really hit big on. And I think we're going to take another high upside running back here that could produce. And I have Parker taking Kalen Ballage here at 19. I think I could see this pick happening just with the upside of Ballage. In Miami, well, Kenyon Drake really had a solid finish to the season. I think he had the most rushing yards in the league for like the last few weeks. So it's going to be an uphill climb a bit and Frank Gore's now there. But I mean, say what you will about Ballage, I'm sort of meh on him, but there's no doubting the athleticism and upside. And I think this guy would be a guy that's perfect for Parker's team. Just a chance to have like a David Johnson type of player would be big for him.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I love Ballage.
I'm not afraid to just like shit. He's not going to fall past 19 now.
All right. So final pick of the second round will be me making this pick. This pick is for Josh. Acquired for Chris Hogan from me. Chris Hogan, the player who has had one catch for 5 yards, I believe, since I traded for him. So didn't get a lot out of him towards the end of the year. Acquired him for depth, but we're hoping 2K18 Chris Hogan. But Josh, making this pick, I kind of want to. Let me see his team. What I'm used to picking for Dave. I don't like not picking for Dave. Okay, I kind of want to get weird and take defense, but I don't think that's a thing that Josh's team in its situation should do.
No.
Let's check this board. Let's see who's best available.
Can I make a suggestion?
Can I also
Sure.
make a suggestion?
I think Caleb and I are on the same wavelengths here.
Yeah. You
Are
know,
you?
we've hit the running back, we've hit wide receiver, we've hit tight end.
But we haven't hit the quarterback. And there's one guy that's sitting on the board that Josh Reen is probably going to be ecstatic to select as the future gunslinger of his team. And that is
All
Lamar
right.
Jackson.
But he has Teddy Bridgewater.
Ah, geez.
Oh, don't say that name. It hurts.
All right, I will go with you. I will take pick 20, Lamar Jackson, a guy with the potential to do serious fantasy damage in the combination of passing and running. Be a future cornerstone quarterback for the Josh squad.
Yeah, he gets. Wow, what a draft that'd be for him. Just hit everything. That'd be a haul for Josh if it plays out like that.
Mm-hmm. Get some cornerstones at every position.
Yeah. Walks away, Web Championship 2018. No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
I think Josh is watching live right now.
Really?
Look in the web chat and he
Happy
said,
birthday, Josh.
"Hey, happy birthday! It's our gift to you." It's a solid draft.
Well, that's 2 rounds already. Look at that.
And first pick of the third round will be Josh.
Yeah. You just keep right on moving.
Mm-hmm. But that's all we're going to do today.
We'll wrap her up there. Well, guys, we have 13 days until the picks become real. And I really like what we did today. I think a lot of it made sense.
I just like web reporter Caleb tweets a lot of vagueness in this. Depending on how the draft plays out, Fraser Fresh may be looking to move back. He also may
how
be
we do
looking
it,
to move
too.
forward. Or he could stay right where he is.
He may select a player.
Whatever.
But yeah. So just to clarify, I am working on getting a microphone and a podium. And I am hiring the Scouts Elite staff for on-site analysis. So if you're not going to be at the draft this year, you're going to be missing out on a real show. All right? So I don't want to hear it anymore.
A real production.
Real production.
What
Web.com.
exactly don't you want to hear?
I don't want to hear no bitching.
No bitching. Quit it with that bitching. Damn
Quit it.
Damn it.
All right.
Yeah. Well, on that note,
God, this was nice.
you're nice.
Good to
It
be
is
back.
nice. It's nice to be back, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm excited.
Same. I gotta freaking get the schedule whipped up so we can know when Tim's gonna lose to Dan.
Maybe that'll get Tim back into drinking. I hope so.
Me too. We can all hope.
Yep.
Well, guys, I will see you on draft day. I haven't talked to you guys in a few months, so it's been nice catching up again.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think we talked last week, actually. You were at my house.
Oh, really?
Today when we got
both of us.
Life outside of Life.com podcast exists?
Oh.
Because I just blacked out for all of it.
Oh, yeah.
We
I
live
mean,
across
we haven't talked together for months.
to each other via Google Hangouts.
Yeah.
Last time I talked to you, I was like repenting for making you angry at the championship game.
And you had a beard.
I love web drama.
Me too. It's going to be a lot more of it this season. That's a guarantee because there always is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Last year
We're
was
gonna-
crazy. A lot
We're
of
going to be there for all of it.
All right.
All right, guys. Well, everybody, we will see you at the draft. And until next time, we are the web.com pod crew.
What?